I just redid it a little bit. I even put the heaters, the 20 watt heaters, or 20 watts each, I believe. It says Cal something on them. And I put them in. So basically, it'll heat those two batteries, and I'm going to put, and they do work. I actually use the amp clamp on the negative and touch positive, positive and then negative. And there's fuses too on positive and negative. And these are 300 amp rated, so they'll be fine. So before I had the shunt connected to there, and then another wire from the shunt to the negative. Put it right on the terminal, right on the post, the external post. And then the wire from the BMS directly onto the shunt. It's not even warm. Like, I mean, I can't tell if it's warm or not. Like, seriously, I can't tell. That's pretty crazy, right? Tuck this wire in a little bit. Yeah, I could just extend his wire out. I'm gonna probably put the battery monitor next to my solar charger in the van. And yeah, it's not even warm. This is the 1/0 cable that came inside those with these cells. I don't need all that. That's old school stuff. You know what I mean? That's all like contactor and some. I'll show you guys the main of the main board. It is a CAN system, I guess. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Put these foam blocks here but yeah, these bus bars are not even warm. Yeah, they're not even warm. They're like, it's crazy, right? Look at that, not even warm. Like, yeah, that's cool to the touch. Like, that's absolutely cool to the touch. I wish I had a thermal camera so I could show you guys this. And I did tighten these down to pretty good and snug, not like a certain torque spec, just, you know, to where I know it's not going to strip it out. They are better threads in these batteries, though, I can tell you that. These are actually very good quality cells. And the thing about it is that this thing was actually well balanced. It was 3.388, all four strings, like all four, because it's a 4S. So string one was, so 4 strings. So there's a BMS cable there, the negative BMS, the positive BMS, and another BMS cable there. So it's 4, and I had to use the BMS wires that came from that one there and connect it to the existing ones here. I put the temp sensor for the DALI down in between these two batteries here, so it's going to read the battery temperature much more accurately. But like I said, I'm gonna probably either get a 12-volt wireless or a temperature, probably a temperature controller that can handle up to 10 amps, because these are gonna draw less than 10 amps, and wire it directly to the positive. So that way, I'll set it for like, gets down to like, let's say 35 degrees. These will automatically turn on, and it's gonna come with a temp sensor. They use them for this water diesel heater thing. David McLucky shows how to set it up and everything up on his channel, so shout out to him. And you put the temp sensor where you want it to read. So I'll put the temp sensor in between one of these two batteries, or in the center there where the like Bluetooth dongle is, and that way these heaters will come on when they need to come on, especially when it's cold, so I don't have to worry about the battery freezing. And I could just use the Bluetooth reading off of that. Hopefully it'll come up, like, let's say if I'm not in the van but I'm in the apartment here, I can go to my bedroom window and I can still read that. You know what I mean? I get a signal from that and be able to know what the temperature is and stuff and be comfortable. But I can be very comfortable with this setup being out in the van. It's not going to happen right now. I'm going to do it when I'm getting ready to go back in the van and stay for a while. But yeah, this is a mega 400 amp hour battery. It's pretty crazy. Oh, and by the way, the BMS app and this, they're pretty spot on. I had this fully charged and I set it for 400 amp hour, and yeah, so Just using this basic Honeywell heater and doing a load test on it. Of course, I'm going to be going through more electricity because I got to charge them back up, and it only charges 65 amps max. Maybe that one might be able to do it. I might be able to hook it up, and hopefully those cables won't get too warm. Might have to switch them out. I don't know. So we'll see. That's a 75 amp charger. Those batteries are pretty junky. They don't really work very well. And there was like acid that was being sprayed out, and it was over the. It was on the floor. It didn't damage the floor or anything because it's plastic, but still, you know. So let's do a screencast here. We'll do the BMS app. And we'll switch it. So, and see the cell voltages are pretty spot on. They're 3.2, and if you guys look right here at the 80% state of charge, and state of charge here is 89, so they're only 1% off. You see the amperage, 138 on the app, and 134 here. So you know they're a few amps off. It's not too bad. Voltage is 13 on the app and 12.9 on the Renogy. So like I said, they're pretty spot on. Their temperature is 22C. So it's reading one of those two batteries there at 22C, which I don't know what it is, to be honest. Probably like 70-something degrees or something, because it's pretty warm in the apartment here. So yeah, I got a big mess to clean up too. I got to get that battery rebuilt and put back together, and probably just gonna sell it like as is. You know, sell for like starting off at 600. No, I'll probably sell for 400. You know, or maybe keep it as a backup battery for the. I might bring the Xantrix inverter back up, and then I'll use that as a backup battery. Put the Xantrix inverter on top of the thing and use some short cables and everything. And yeah, been awake doing this all night long, all night. But the results are pretty decent, so. Let's shut it off. Show no current on the app, but negative. So the inverter is using some current, but not much. And every cell is back up to 305, 307, 308, 306. That's pretty good. Balancing up pretty well. So those cells I couldn't get balanced well. It's because I was using 2 and 2, and then 2 in the middle, so it wasn't really too accurate. But yeah, let me move this. Apparently this Renogy thing can read up to 110 volts or something like that. I don't know how they can do that, but I mean 110 volts DC. Let's plug in the inverter charger here. Let's watch it climb out. See the plus, so then amps are going the other way now into the battery. That's what that means. So when it reaches fully charged, I'm going to reset this at 400 amp hours, and then go from there. So, and then reset the app also, and say 100% state of charge. And that way I can read it a lot more accurate. I mean, these are 200 amp hours each, and they're in parallel. So, you know, the 400 amp hours are there, 400 there. You know, but then it's series. So it's still 400 amp hours is just series parallel. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, I can't figure. I honestly, I'm not that good at figuring it out. I just know that's 400 amp hours there. 100, so that's, yeah, something like this. Oh, the guy actually was like, you should make a YouTube video. I'm actually doing it right now. That's funny. I'll have to send him the link to this video. He's the one that gave me this and sold me this. So this was $425 and this was free. So yeah, that's going to take a while to charge back up to full. So should be around 14.4, I think, is what I have it set to. Well, no, I mean I have to. Change it for a lithium here. There we go. See, that's pretty spot on. And we'll be looking at amps here. So we got 65.8. Still climbing up on the thing there. You guys can see it. It's pretty close. So it's pretty close. Yeah, so it's a good setup. I mean, I don't like the scratches because I had the L brackets. This was sitting on top of there. So this is gonna have to get mounted some way, somehow, where I could see the screen, or maybe I don't know how I'm going to position it, and I don't even know where I'm going to put this in the van, because this is heavy as hell. I need between the wheels to keep keep the van from rocking side to side. It's going to keep it steady. So it has to be between the wheels. So it's going to go right in front of the water tank, and then this might have to go in front of that, but this can go on its side. I might use some self-tapping, use some screws, and then use L brackets for the bottom, but use screws for the top to keep it from going forward. Or maybe I'll put this on top of the box and still set it, on its side right here. So we'll see how that goes, because this is going to get turned around. Those terminals will be facing that way, and this will be facing that way. So everything's going to be on the passenger side, all the connections and stuff. So yeah. I got a lot of stuff to do. I might even use these short cables to make the connection and return these to Harbor Freight so I can get some extra money back. We'll see how that goes, because that might be an option. You know what I mean? That might be an option. So, because these can handle a few hundred amps with no problem. This is 1 aught. This is 2 aught. So I can return these and still keep those. So that might be something I'm going to explore, actually. Let's see if I have any. I only have the one big one here, but I do have 2 of these, I believe. Should be the same length. Yeah, could probably use those. Have to reshape them somehow, but yeah, some padding or whatever you call this stuff, some rubber. Came with those batteries. All right, so yeah, this is the BMS module that came with this weird battery. See, it says CAN. It went to like a plug on the front of the battery. I got the boxes in the shower. I was washing them up. Yeah, I could take it apart, but it's just going to be a circuit board in there. At some point, these are 300 amp contactors. That's pretty cool. And we've got some automotive grade by relays here. And we got a current amp clamp. I guess I was measuring the amps. So yeah, oh yeah, that heat gun's good. That's like a craft heat gun. It's only 500 watts. It's actually good for heat shrink. I was able to heat shrink these back up again. So, because they were loose for some reason, I don't know why. But they always come like that. Stupid. So yeah, like I said, pretty cool setup, right? Yeah, I have to go and do something quick, so I'm gonna get out this thing. All right, take care, everybody. Okay. Have a great day.